Good afternoon and welcome to the 7th episode Apples in the Sink podcast. My name is Nina Mack and I will be your commentator this afternoon until I unfortunately have to go back to work. Anywho, I'm here.
Are we sure that we don't want me to do the intro with a beatbox? Have we decided on that?
This is my second one here,
like that,
and
beatbox?
the answer is no.
Anyways, I'm here with Jason Miller.
Hi there.
John Watson.
Hi.
And Bob Watson.
Hello.
All right, and to get things started, I actually did want to talk about something, if that's okay with all three of you.
That's fine. We should mention that Nina's going to have to cut out in a few minutes here. She's going back to work at her awesome job that pays better than anything she's working.
Making bank. But anywho.
Yeah. And we're hopefully going to drag somebody else in to join us when she leaves. Go ahead.
So I'm a waitress, and I went up to this one table, as I usually do. My name is Nina, so I usually get a weird.
Nina is spelled, by the way, Nina, like
right.
Nina. Short for
reaction. I get a weird reaction. So I go, hello, my name is Nina. I will be your server. And usually most of the time I get, what's that? Or like, that's pretty. Or I kind of go into my speech. Nina is my nickname. Nina is my real name. It's Lithuanian. And so on and so forth.
You've said this speech 100 times.
A million times a day. Everyone asks me, how many times do you say it? All the time.
It's like when you tell somebody your email address, you verbatim it to them,
Exactly.
It's blah, 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 one word, undercase, blah.
Exactly. So this table, all old. There was about 5 people older than me. They're on their lunch break, and there was this man, I would say 45 to 50 years old, and he looks at me. He's like, "What's that?" And I said, like, my name is Nina, with a smile, and said my real name is Nina, blah blah blah. And he's like, what the hell did you do to your parents to piss them off so bad that they named you that? Literally with the most, ugliest stink face in the entire world. And I looked back at him, and I said to him, I was like, well, that's... And, the whole table started laughing. So I'm sitting there, and I go, well, that's my grandmother's middle name. And in my head, I'm like, she passed away when I was 2. Like, you asshole.
Yeah.
And the whole table just put their head down in shame. Like, who does that? Who makes fun of somebody's name? First of all, we're not in 2nd grade. Second of all, you're older than me. Third of all, you're gonna make fun of your server's name who deals with your food, deals with your drinks.
Spit burger.
The temptation was so great that if you're an asshole to me, when I'm clearly not an asshole to you, if you're an asshole to me and I'm an asshole to you, fine. I won't have those thoughts. But you all know me and how I serve and how I treat people. I treat people with utmost respect, no matter who you are, whether you're 15 or 65. I will treat you great. And treat me like shit, I'm sorry. That just was horrible. How can an adult do that? That just made me so frustrated.
We should reiterate for the people who may have missed the last podcast that Nina is working at a breakfast, lunch, brunch place.
Exactly.
It's not a bar. It's not a restaurant.
Wait, this happened there? I thought this happened on the bar.
No, this was at
holy cow.
This happened last week.
Oh.
That's why I posted that status.
Wow,
it literally happened.
Yeah.
And this is a family place. This is a lighthearted place. And here comes an asshole.
This is a Sunday breakfast place.
Yeah.
And what a fucktard. That just.
It just blows my mind how people can act so childish, yet they're adults. I'm sorry, but grow the fuck up.
This you made me think of something. Not that I would recommend doing this. In fact, I'm going to tell you not to do anything like this, okay?
I would never spit in anybody's food, nor spit in their drinks, nor touch.
Absolutely.
No, ever. I would never.
My brother and I both had long-standing careers at a certain pizza.
I wouldn't call them long-standing, but...
at a pizza place of a... We'll just say they had a game-type name.
Yes. I'll give you a clue. Domino's.
Oh, Lord.
All right.
Hey, so, you're not working there anymore.
So, when if somebody would call, we had a few tricks that we could play. We'd never jizz on anyone's pizza or anything.
I've seen the worst.
Oh, yeah. I've seen awful things. I worked at a sandwich place where a guy was picking at a canker sore while he was making sandwiches.
Oh,
yeah.
Wasn't mine, was it?
No, sure. Maybe. At Domino's Pizza, if you pissed us off, it would not be uncommon for us to slap out the pizza dough. Which is you would manually slap it out. We would dip our hands in the giardiniera juice and slap out the dough.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And it would make the dough wicked hot, but there's nothing hot on the pizza. Not a thing.
But wouldn't they complain and send it back?
And that's the thing, though. We all were so immune to hot food and hot pizza because we had hot pizza all the time.
Right.
People would come back and say, "This is really hot. Try a piece," and we'd bite and be like, "There's nothing wrong with this. This is just fine."
Wow. You'd really bite into their pizza.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
See,
sure.
that's old
No,
and
not-
like, you know,
not
like,
delivery.
This is
though.
25 years ago. But
That's
no,
what I'm saying. 25
if somebody,
years ago,
if somebody
I would
came into
never.
the restaurant and said,
Yeah.
"This is really hot. Try this,"
Yeah.
we'd be like, "I don't know what you're talking about. Take a bite on it."
Right.
And we would leave notes on there like asshole tipper or doesn't
in
tip,
the
no
computer,
tip
yeah.
all the time. If you think that they don't keep track
Oh,
of
they keep
that
track
at
of
a restaurant, oh yes,
Everywhere does.
yes, absolutely.
Anywhere that has tips, they
Mhm.
know. Especially now with how everything
Yes,
goes
we know.
into the computer.
I
We
think
know
the
everything.
worst tipping places that were the worst tips that we ever used to get were
One West Daniels, I can tell you right now. One West Daniels. It was
No,
always
no.
a check for the exact amount.
no.
You actually remember
I
the
remember
address?
I
because
remember that too,
you
but
get
I'm
one
talking
that's-
about
yep.
I'm talking about the one that would fuck up your numbers because one West Daniels was like a $17 order.
Yeah, and it
I'm
was
talking-
$17 check.
I'm talking about schools,
Oh,
or
right.
churches.
Yeah, they'd
where you
raise
had
the
to
exact
deliver
amount.
the 15 pizzas
Yeah.
and you got maybe a 25-cent tip or something. Or
I can
What?
name so many
oh yeah,
different.
they never
yeah.
tipped because
Huh.
they had to write a
Wasn't in
check
the
for the
budget.
exact amount. It wasn't in their budget. I get that, but at the end of the
If you're
night,
gonna
you have to
budget,
pay
though.
tips
Yeah.
on a certain amount of, or you have to pay tips on a percentage of what you
Taxes.
delivered. You know, or you have to.
Oh,
have
it's
to,
on what you
you have
delivered.
to
It's
claim
not what you.
taxes on a percentage of what you delivered.
Ugh.
Okay, so they assume if you delivered $2,000 worth of pizza, this is just a rough guesstimate. You know that you made $400 in tips. Okay,
And you would claim that on your.
you would have to claim
At the
that.
end of the night, you would claim that. So when you got your 1099 or your 10 whatever it is,
Yeah,
W2
W2.
from Domino's, it would say amount of wages and then claimed tips.
See,
If-
that's why I like now, because now the only thing, this is why people tip cash,
It's
because
credit cards, yeah.
it's I don't get taxed on cash. I only get taxed on credit cards because that's the only thing we can track. We're not asked to
See,
count up all of our cash tips.
But you always pay taxes on your cash tips, don't you?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
and you never seriously though. I'm not saying that you should ever do anything bad to anybody's food, but
I would never.
it's out there that why would you fuck with anyone who can do something
Yeah.
bad to your
Yeah.
food?
I just
Yeah.
don't why would you make fun of your server's name? Like somebody who is
Yeah.
going to be waiting
Yeah.
on, this is the first impression.
Well, just anyone's name. That's just not even a server,
Right.
but
Yeah.
But
Right.
it's a
that's
person.
just a douche thing. Yeah.
It's a
This-
person. Like, and
Speaking
we're
of-
not too. I would okay. Like, I remember, yes, back in second grade, like, oh, yeah,
That's
yeah,
the second
whatever.
graders.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We're not
Yes,
child.
yeah.
Like, but I see it all the time, especially in the serving industry. I see adults act like little fucking children, and I can go on about this for hours of how many people I fucking deal with that are literally idiots that need to grow the fuck up.
Yeah.
My dad
And they treat
said-
me like a piece of shit. Well, guess what? I'm not a piece of shit just because I'm serving you.
I'm
We're
sorry.
not doing that.
Well, there's that mentality too that you're the server, therefore you're beneath me.
Exactly.
you know?
It's horrible.
You're there
I
to
treat
serve my needs.
exactly. And I
That's
treat all my
smart.
servers with full respect. I go anywhere.
Well, it's
I
because
go,
you've worked in the industry.
exactly. And I think every single person should work the industry at least a fucking
Absolutely.
week
Yeah.
to
Not-
see
yes.
how hard this is. Like, it's not an easy job. Yes, and people, twiddle around and do like text and do all that dumb shit. No, if you're a good server, you don't have time to do any of that shit. I don't look at my phone. I don't touch my phone. I deal with my customers
Mhm.
for the 6 to 9 hours I'm working. Like, there's no time for any nonsense.
Our dad told me at least a long time ago that somebody who is nice to you but is rude to a waiter is not a nice
I love
person.
that. I love
and
that
it's
quote.
so true too.
I love that quote. Love
It's,
it.
Yeah.
it's absolutely true.
Love it.
I know people
That's
who,
one of my favorite
who are just the
quotes, yeah.
nicest people in the world to you, but then you get to a restaurant and they're a dick to the waiter, and you instantly are. I have no respect for you.
It's
Fuck you in the
horrible.
ass.
It's horrible. They
Yeah.
seem like so great, and then all of a sudden,
Well,
see
that's
they-
pretty
the
much
status
showing
quo.
someone that, hey, this person I think is beneath
Exactly.
me.
That's right.
Exactly.
No,
Right.
fuck you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
If you've ever flung food, and I don't even think you should have
Mm-hmm.
that you should have to do like a year in like retail or something. Food service,
you
food delivery, food
serious-
something.
A tip job of some sort.
I
Something
fully
like that.
agree.
Washing
Anything with-
tables.
Anything
Or
where tip
some
is
kind of
your
restaurant.
tip is your
As a
payment.
All of
I
us here have done
fully
some
agree.
sort of
You
food.
worked
I
at
worked
a
at a
bagel
bagel
place.
shop, but that
Yeah.
means I had to wake up at 2 a.m. to
Oh,
go
right.
fucking
Fuck.
make bagels. And in the summer, every year, our AC would break.
Oh.
So it would be 100% humidity.
And then it's
Yay,
all
Chicago.
the heat from
Yeah,
the
and
bagel.
now these giant ovens, and you're just standing next to them going, well, this sucks.
Yeah.
Our Domino's Pizza did not have a screen door,
That's
so we had to
horrible.
keep the doors closed. I worked at 2 sandwich places. The first job I ever had was a sandwich place where the owner was a really nice
Sub Shop
guy.
89?
Yeah, and he was obsessive compulsive about cleanliness.
Yeah.
So then I left that place and I went to work at the other place where the guy was making the sandwich with the canker sore
Ah.
and smoking cigarettes and then coming in and making sandwiches without washing their hands.
Ugh.
And when I left there, I called the village and said, you gotta just, this is not cool. And then the pizza place, well, Domino's wasn't bad.
I worked at a Domino's, and then you're
Is
gonna
it
laugh
the only
at
food
this.
place you ever worked?
No, I worked for 2.5 hours at
gosh.
the sports place when we lived in South Palatine. There was the club.
Oh, I know what you're
Oh
talking
my
about.
God!
And
the
there
clubhouse.
was-
Is that
there
by
was a
No, it was a clubhouse.
the Donkey Inn?
No,
or-
No. This was a clubhouse when we lived. I don't know if
Forest
you drove
Estates.
by my old house in
Yeah.
Forest Estates. The whole neighborhood, the Dongate area, had a pool, a community pool. It was
Well,
kind
it
of
was a
private.
club. Had tennis courts.
You had
Yeah.
You had to live in that area though to
Okay.
go to it, right? And I worked in the concession stand at the pool for
Concession.
2.5 hours.
You also worked at the Kawana's place at the Palace.
Oh, that's right. That's right. But I get tipped for that.
Okay.
That was like a portable concession hot dog place
Yeah.
for the baseball fields. But I worked at this club, and this family came up. This woman came up with her 5 kids and placed. Now, I'd never worked in a fast food place. This was before Domino's. I had never flipped burgers, made fries. Okay, so I come in and I showed up at 9:30 for 10 o'clock start. I had 30 minutes of training on how to make food.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
how to know when the burgers are done, all this stuff. I get in there and this woman comes up. My very first order, she comes up and she orders 5 different cheeseburgers.
Oh, Lord.
So I make these things as fast as I can. I get them back out, and all the kids start bitching. They all start complaining that it's not right.
Oh,
And it's
God.
10 years later, I
Right.
finally put the thought to it. They had just not gotten the right burgers.
Oh,
The mom did not give them to him. She came back
wow.
up with 4 of the 5 burgers and asked me to remake them.
Oh, my
Right? So I
gosh.
remade them,
Yeah.
did what I was supposed to and everything. So I was like, this is, I can't fucking do this. I cannot fucking do this. So at 1 o'clock, I got my lunch. They actually closed the concession stand down at 1 o'clock. So I could go get my food. And I went home and never went back.
Oh,
I didn't
my
even
God.
quit. As far as they're
Wisely so.
concerned, I'm still working there.
He's got a paycheck. This is weird.
You still have Bob
I-
scheduled for Saturday? No, I don't think he's coming this week.
I got a paycheck for $9.56
Ah.
2 weeks later
Oh
for my
my
3
gosh,
hours
that's
of work.
funny.
Fuck that.
Yeah, so on the flip side, being on the fire department, when we're busy, we can't cook.
Oh, right.
You're not there.
I
You're
should
writing
also
calls.
point out that Mr. Miller here is a fantastic cook.
So I've heard.
I try.
You're a hell of a cook.
I got a
You
couple
made
of stories on that. So
root beer
Barbecue pole?
Oh my god. Anyway, I'm sorry. So continue.
before
Made
we
it
get
in
on
a
that,
crock pot. Sorry, go
well,
ahead.
yeah, we have to because when we're gone, we have to have something to sit there where it won't go bad.
Right.
That's smart.
But when we get busy, and the town I'm in is often enough, especially if we're on the ambulance, you just don't have time. A lot of times you won't even go back to the station. And you'll be hours on the streets, as we say, just between the hospital and then the next call and repeat. So,
Rinse, wash, repeat.
and it really is. So we do order pizza a lot. I mean, and we've had people complaining, like, well, why is the fire department at the pizza place?
It's no
and
fucking
this?
time.
Yeah, well, and our outlaying stations aren't next to the one pizza place we go to. So we do have them delivered. We were coming back from an actual structure fire, not even an EMS call, a structure fire. So we're just reeking of fire. Driving, I was on the engine
Burnt
this day.
stuff.
Yeah, and the ambulances come up behind us. And we see the pizza guy just going the other way.
Oh,
'Cause
because
we-
we got to the firehouse and nobody was there.
Because we had put an order in when we were about to clear the incident, knowing that, hey, by the time we get back, it'll be there. So we're all driving the fire apparatus, which everyone knows what a fire truck and an ambulance look like. The guy drives by us, we're like, hey, and we wave, and we're like, well, maybe he left the pizza, but then we're like, oh, this doesn't make sense. So we get there, no pizza. Like, okay. It's not a small town, but it's not a big town either. So one of the guys who knows the owner of the pizza place calls like, hey, your driver we just got back. Your driver just drove away. He's like, oh, I'll have him go back. Hour goes by.
Are you kidding me?
Oh
No.
my gosh.
And so we call again. We're like, hey, he never came back. Yeah, hold on. So now 30 minutes go by. Like, what's going on? Finally we're starving because we had a busy day. We had actually had a structure fire, which, by the way, super manual labor for
Right,
a short
right,
amount of
yeah.
time. And this guy comes. The first thing he says when I open the door to get the pizza and I have the cash in hand, I hate firefighters. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh my
I'm like,
Lord.
okay, well, how much is the pizza? You guys made me come back out here, and I was here, and you guys weren't here. I'm like, well, yeah, we had a call, sir. I'm sorry. we saw you driving past. Did you not see the fire engine? And I was being polite, even though I know it's snarky.
Yeah.
I was like, we waved to you, sir.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. Well, it's just because you guys are lazy. I'm like,
Oh, come on.
fucking-
Fuck that.
okay, well,
Nope, done.
hey, sir, what's your name? I asked him. I'm not telling you my name. Like, that's fine. I'm like, well, here's the money. How much do you owe? Well, this much. Okay. I even tipped him because he did come out here. However, the very next thing I did, I went to
Call
the
us
friend.
boss.
Oh, hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. Call
So
us
that
boss.
guy no longer had a job because we're like, hey, this is
Yeah.
what happened. He saw us. He left. He went this. And we documented. We're like, this is how I treated him when I got there because our huge part of our job is patient contact and it's public service. So
Right.
you're
Yep.
dealing with people and
Yep.
you're taught to be nice. And like, even though we're treated like shit sometimes, yes, sir. Okay. I'm sorry. We'll try not. But
It
this
sucks,
was
but
like,
they're
yeah, and I'm
always
sure the
right.
service is the same
Always
way.
right. Yep, they're
And you're like,
always
okay,
right, no
well,
matter
I'm sorry.
so we're talking to this boss, and he's like, don't worry, I got you guys covered. Because apparently,
Oh,
we
wow.
found out why it took so long. The guy had taken the pizzas, threw the pizzas out.
They had to remake them.
Oh, why would
So
you
they
ever
remade
do
them. So they
that?
remade 4 pizzas for the 7 guys at the
What
station.
an idiot.
I was like,
Jeez,
Well, you
that's
know what?
you
If it had been an
kidding me?
hour delay, anyways, they probably should have remade it
Yeah.
from a natural standpoint, anyways. But that doesn't give. I mean,
no. I was still blown away. I was just like, what
Yeah,
the hell is
that's-
going on?
Well,
insane.
Unfortunately, Nina Mac needs to leave now, as she needs to rush back to her.
I'm
awesome
going
job.
to bid what is it?
A
bid farewell.
Bid duas, bid whatever.
Bid of
But
goodbye.
it's been a pleasure.
Lauren's gonna pause her game and hop in.
If
Pause.
Lauren
Go-
gets
go
off of
lock
her
yourself
video
into a house,
game,
Lauren.
she'll come over here. But it's been wonderful.
Nina?
Till next
Thank
time,
you,
guys.
Nina.
Yes,
Thank you
thanks,
very
Nina.
much.
Squirt.
Hopefully next time will be a bit sooner than this.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, we'll get you back soon.
Please do.
Thank you for joining us.
Checking up on
Rock
my
on with
stuff.
your bad self.
Right.
And hey, I sent you a text tomorrow morning.
I will make a note of it.
I'm
Yes,
gonna
and
say-
tonight I'll just make. Well, I don't know if they'll take it. Whatever. I'll figure it
I
out.
don't know, like 4 or 5 of us, maybe.
I'll
I
figure
haven't
it
got-
out.
I haven't heard
9
from Guy.
o'clock.
Yeah,
9 o'clock. Perfect.
9:05.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you, Squirt.
Thank you.
And joining us now is Lauren.
Hello.
Hi,
He'll come
Lauren.
in.
How you doing, sweetie?
Oh, fine.
We just have people on standby. We have chains in the basement.
Lauren
Zach's
leaves.
down there probably.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
See you later.
Bye, Ned.
If Lauren leaves, the dog jumps in.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. What's new and exciting?
Not much.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Same shit, different day.
I hear you. How's Savannah?
She's good.
Is she?
Yeah.
She got a job yet?
Not yet.
We're working on it.
Fucking slackers.
I know.
Although, I do.
Doesn't even pay rent.
We do.
4 years, almost 4 years old, no rent. What the
the
hell?
You know what?
I know.
do a lot of child slavery around the house.
Yeah, that's true.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole reason why you have kids.
I put
Yeah.
her to work.
Let's do the chores.
There you go.
No, she helps. Like Lauren and I,
No,
whenever
exactly.
we're cleaning, you're cleaning too.
Never mow the lawn. That'll bake our noodle.
Well, I did that. I remember when I
Had a
was
lawn.
townhome.
Well,
That's-
Dad told me when I was 12, you're not old enough to cut the lawn. And I wanted to cut the lawn so bad. We had an old crank mower that you had to crank the
What?
top. It was like a ratchet. It wasn't a
Really?
pull.
Well, that to start it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
to start, you would crank it
I'm
up.
just imagining you walking behind Cranky as you're walking behind him. Like, wow, this doesn't make
That
no
fucking
sense.
brown
Oh,
beast.
yes,
It
and
wasn't
you would-
brown, but it was rust brown by the
You
time.
would, it would go da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and you were winding up a spring, and you would push it down, you'd pull this trigger from behind, and that would release the spring, and it would spin it, and try
Holy
to start
And
the
that would
thing
turn
up.
the engine over.
Yeah.
And basically, you mowed the lawn with 5 o'clock Charlie.
Smoke, and then never had to worry about mosquitoes.
Yeah,
Perfect.
no.
Okay,
No.
it's just smoke everywhere. And I wanted to cut the lawn, so I wanted to be part of the family. I wanted my chores. I wanted to cut the lawn. I was so just
one
man.
lap in, and you instantly
12
regretted the
so
decision.
I was 12, right? Then I was 13. Spring comes around. The old man says, "You know what, son? I think you're old enough to cut the lawn." All right, cool. Let me try it. So I said, let me do it myself, right? So I go to crank it up, and let me tell you something. That motherfucker was hard as shit to turn. Okay, it wasn't easy. It was not like my dad made it like, oh yeah, push the button and it goes. I was like, what the shit is
Yeah,
this?
no, you gotta wrestle that shit.
I told him, I said, is there something wrong with this? Nope, that's how hard it is. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, there's something wrong with it. You're 13.
Yeah. So I cranked it up, and it started. Starts going, smoke starts going, and I go and I do the first pass and realize how ridiculously hard it is to do it, and I've never wanted to do it since.
I will say this though, and I actually told my dad about this yesterday. I hated mowing the lawn when I was a kid. Despised it. I even hated it when we were renting a house together, and it was like, I gotta mow the fucking lawn.
Yep.
Yeah, I know, because it would be like a foot high.
Yeah. And now I get home and I'm like, lawn kind of needs mowing. But then I get out as soon as I start that fucking mower. and I'm mowing my lawn
Yep.
that I have paid for. Ow!
Well,
my
yeah,
God.
and it also gets you out of the house.
A little bit, but it's a visceral feeling. Even if I'm home alone, like on a Saturday morning or something, I look out and be like, I gotta mow my lawn. Yeah.
I couldn't care less.
You
That's
don't
why
have a
I
lawn, you're in a
haven't. No,
townhome.
I know. That was the point. I got a townhome instead of a house. I don't
See,
want
it
to
works.
shovel my driveway. I
Yeah.
don't want to mow the lawn.
I don't like
F
shoveling
that
the
shit.
driveway. I'm not a fan
Nah,
of that.
I think I'd pay somebody to shovel the driveway.
I think our next house we will, hon.
I've got
We're not moving.
Yeah, in 5 years when you are doing your PA stuff, we'll see.
well, when
I'm
you guys
not moving.
when you
Uh-huh.
guys have your next kid, aren't you gonna?
And the show has reached a new low.
Wow.
Would you want me to kill you now or
he
later, John?
Threw something at me and she shot me laser beams and I think I got a chest wound and yeah. So
That dog is my kid. And Savannah
Kinda
is
looks
close
like
to my
you.
kid,
the
but
dog's not as hairy.
yeah, that's true. The dog does speak German though, so
Jawohl.
she's been watching too much Wolfenstein.
By the way, we forgot to cover. Nina already left, but she was drinking her same grape, low-calorie, high electrolyte Gatorade with vodka.
Yep.
You've got your Jack and Coke again.
Yeah, God, you're never making me drinks. I always forget this. Every time John makes a drink, it's like twice as strong as I ever had. Hi! Oh,
Nice.
okay.
I've got my Jack and Coke. My brother actually just had a little Jack and Coke, and now he's back to Coke named
Laura.
Laura. And Lauren is drinking. What do we got there?
I got some summer shandy.
Oh, Lightning
Trying
Kugels.
to bring the summer.
You
Yeah, even
gave
though it's
me a
cold,
drink.
I did.
You never texted me the name of that.
I didn't. I'm
No.
so sorry.
She gave me
It's 'cause it was
a
German.
sip of grapefruit beer.
Beer.
That,
It's one of my German beers.
man, was it good.
I don't like grape.
I know
don't like
exactly
beer.
the one you're talking about.
And
did
it was,
take
it
a
was really
picture
good.
of
Together we don't like either
Together
one.
we hate that fucking
No, I didn't. I'm alive.
It's okay. I
really
actually
good.
have it on my Untapped, which
So,
awesome map, by the way, if you
What's that?
drink heavily. Untapped. It doesn't matter, but it just tracks
Yeah,
your
I've
beers.
heard
So I have,
oh,
291 distinct beers.
Nice.
you might have a problem.
No, I have a hobby.
It's not
291.
alcoholism if it's a hobby. That's all right.
291 is kind of a lot for today, isn't it?
It's 2 days.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you.
Okay.
So Lauren was playing Minecraft
I was.
and doing quite well at it. In fact,
Thank
that's
you.
going to be the subject of
Doing quite well.
Yeah.
How does one
And
garter?
well, that brings up Dave Mack, Nina's father, asked me last week. He says, "How difficult is Minecraft?" And I said, "It's as difficult as you want it to be."
yeah.
I said, "You can say, oh, I built a nice little house in a grove or something. It's fantastic. And look what we did." Or then you say, "Hey, I can build a monster spawner," and that's 25 hours of work to get it to work properly to make sure that the whole thing works well. Okay, so the name of the beer was Schofferhofer Grapefruit.
God bless you.
Once we have the beer, once it's Schofferhofer, and we're going to kill the Jews.
Oh, hey,
whoa!
Ooh. Too much Wolfenstein.
And two clowns. And
I told you nobody cared about the Jews.
Jay was on my server on Minecraft, and he decided he was just going to make a big hole one day.
Got myself a hole.
Seriously, no, it really
walked
is
out-
just a
he
massive
walked out
hole.
to the
And John's like,
desert.
well, I guess I'll help.
Yeah.
So now 2 of us are just digging
Digging a
this
hole.
Just
giant
dug this
hole.
giant hole that went all the way down to the bottom of the level, and we're like, okay, well now what? Let's go that way. So we dug the hole going one direction, and it covers half my map. You can go halfway through the map underground in a giant hole, and it goes underneath the river, the lake. It's enormous. It goes all the way down to the base. I had to put a cover on it because monsters were falling in.
Now, on the flip side, as making it as hard as you can, in John's same world, I built in the mountain farm, kind of like a NORAD thing, where I lit it by building these giant sunlight holes.
And
So
he's
it lets the
explaining it to
sunlight.
me when he's building it, and I'm like, I don't know what you're doing.
And it's an automated farm, or semi-automated farm, so it will grow during the day, and then at night I have these circuits set up and actual lights. And I have a sensor, so when it's nighttime, the lights all turn on.
I don't know how we did it.
And then to boot that, I also built a pretty simple, I'm quoting, furnace to help John and I just smelt stuff quicker, because we could throw a whole lot of stuff in there and then walk away.
You basically walk up, hit a switch, and all your crops there are instantly washed forward, and you just pick up all the crops, and then you replant, or you hit a switch.
Yeah, you do have to
and
replant
the water
them.
goes away. Replant. I did that by mistake, by the way.
That's right.
Replant everything, but then you've got all these crops there, and it's a whole So, my stepdaughter Samantha plays, and she is the farmer. She's got like the back 40. You know, she does crops and this, that, and the other, and sometimes. But she even dug a giant hole too in the middle of the desert.
Got me a hole.
really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Oh no, I saw that the
yeah,
stairway one.
And then we found
It's
out
not bad. I like the
couldn't
idea.
figure out why we were having so many problems. Why we were counting so much lava, and then our friend Zach said, "Well, you know, if it goes by the environment. So if you're digging straight down in the desert,
It's
there's
super
more
lava.
in the desert."
And John and I are
than
like,
there is in
Oh,
the
really?
desert.
That's the parallel like that? It's like, fuck.
Well, Zach is our Minecraft guru, and
Yeah.
he's the one who just taught me everything.
Doesn't Zach know like everything about everything when it comes to video games?
No,
We've
not
been
Steam
playing
games.
Minecraft
He does
like-
a lot of Steam.
Yeah,
He does a lot of computer.
Yeah.
We've been playing Minecraft like 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years.
I know.
And he mentioned to us that if you crouch when you're near a wall or when you're near the edge, you won't fall off.
And John and I
That
wanted to
is so
shoot each
false.
other.
It's 3 years of
I
us
have
walking
fallen
towards
so
the
many
edge.
You know what?
You
You know
stand
what
up
it
or
is?
you
No,
jump.
No.
No, you put stairs down. You could fall off
You
stairs.
can fall downstairs.
So when
No,
you're doing roofs and
It's
stuff.
been off a ledge, and I've been crouching, and I literally just fell, and I'm like, what?
Then you
It's a glitch. It's got to be a glitch.
It's possible.
So then you die, but
Yeah.
do you have
not
lives?
necessarily. Oh, you have infinite lives.
Yeah.
You lose all your shit.
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
if you're
Yeah.
in lava.
You have to get back to it quick to
Yeah.
pick
Or
it up.
fucking
or it goes
witches.
away.
God,
You
I
have,
hate
you have
those
to
things.
remember
Why,
where
did they
your
pick your
stuff
stuff up?
is if you die.
No, they're just evil.
Oh yeah.
So, how
She's a
Lauren and
witch.
I play, we have our own world together.
It's adorable.
It's awesome, but Lauren is the creative mind of the two of us. Like you build beautiful things. Beautiful things. I'm like, I built a stone structure that's a square. That's where my stuff is. However, I could do the technical stuff, as we talked about a little bit earlier in the
I
last
could do that.
podcast. Is I could do and or nor gates, and I could actually make whole electric circuits and mechanisms because there's different actions to a bunch of stuff. And I've learned more about electronics playing Minecraft than I
That's
did a
awesome.
semester of high school.
But the amount of articles that I read about Minecraft being so unbelievably educational for kids
Ooh, there's
is
even a better one too.
insane.
Not only that, it teaches them patience. All the
Yes.
games we have now are
Instant
yeah,
gratification.
Yeah,
exactly.
as we
Whereas
were just
Minecraft,
talking about
okay,
last
you're gonna
podcast.
sit here, you're gonna make this
Yes.
to make
You know-
this to make this,
You
and it takes you an
know-
hour. So I mean the triangle between Savannah's father, Lauren, and myself.
Does he game at all? I don't.
No.
I don't know
No,
how
he
much
doesn't.
we're talking about. So he's
But
a
we're
gamer.
gonna watch because Sav loves Minecraft.
Yeah,
She'll
she
sit there
does.
and play it. She'll sit in my lap and we will play it, quote unquote, as I help her.
Right. She wants a Minecraft birthday party.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that.
Oh,
I know, really?
I want in.
It's gonna be it's fine. It's awesome.
Okay.
Let's make a giant cardboard creeper.
Can we?
I was already
your
gonna do
your
that.
basement area? Can we?
I need to finish it.
But before you finish it, now is the time to like what we did at the Max one year for Halloween. Before they,
Yeah, but I
were gonna
painted it already.
Oh, you did, didn't you? Okay.
I know what you're saying because
Can
we just totally
can we
just
make it look like a
destroyed it.
cave? We could put some stuff down on the floor to make it look like the.
Well, eventually this podcast is gonna be done down
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
and the thing is,
What's
I'm gonna
the
put
room
hooks
for?
in the ceiling
Uh-huh.
so I
Oh,
could
just
hang
for-
the sound stuff,
Okay.
but then take it down so I could have my pictures and stuff.
Okay.
So we could probably do that.
Well,
Get a
alright.
couple of brown blankets and
yeah.
okay, we got a project, John.
Oh boy, I'm in.
And we could just paint the floor however we want right now because
Who's
You know what you
the
should do?
guy-
You should get some, excuse me, like what the heck is that? Salvation Army sheets.
sheets,
That
they
you
have
can
sheets.
paint.
Oh, they got everything in Salvation Army.
You can paint the sheets and
Yeah.
then just hang them to
The-
make
and
them look
at
like
the Goodwill
walls.
I
place,
like that.
The Goodwill place near Walmart over here, they've got all sorts
Yeah,
of
yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Too.
For like they'll be
You know-
like a whole set for like $1.
Perfect.
Who's
You know.
who's the artist on Penny Arcade? Is it Gabe or Mike?
Gabe,
Gabe.
because Mike is the one who writes.
Gabriel. Oh no, but Gabe isn't his real name. It's Jerry. No, it's Mike.
It's Mike,
Jerry
and then
is-
Jerry
okay,
is.
okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wow,
Yeah,
I totally got that
did-
wrong.
did
Sorry,
too,
guys.
yeah. No,
You'll never listen to this podcast, but if you do,
Mike Kraholik, who I'm sure I butchered that name, he posted a little blog talking about how he gave a speech to the PTA about video games because he's the
Yeah.
at a local school, the guy who does comics about video
they
games.
knew nothing.
They knew not. He
Oh
walks in
my
and he's
God.
like, "Okay, so I'm going to talk about the difference between Steam games and online, and the difference between PSN
Well, and then he had to
Xbox
keep
Live." And then they're
dumbing
looking at
it
him like
and
blank
dumbing
faces,
it
like,
and
Oh,
dumbing
man.
it.
Okay,
it
who's
was
got
bad.
a magic game box on their television? So, but they were saying, how long do you let your kids play video games? They just wanted a static number. And he goes, it depends on the game. I don't let my kids play Mortal Kombat at all. I don't let them play Grand Theft Auto. Some other games, where they got to do some searching and stuff, I let them play for a little bit longer.
If there's a My Little Pony game on the Xbox One, fuck yes, have at it.
He said, like a couple hours or something, he says, I will let my kids play Minecraft all day because, as far as I'm concerned, it is no different than if they were playing with Legos.
Mm-hmm.
No, and that's exactly what it is. That's the nice thing.
He's building with friends online.
Yeah.
And it's using your imagination.
Which is super key.
Which kids don't do anymore.
No.
Oh, your daughter does a lot.
My daughter
Your
does
daughter's
because
awesome.
I refused to let her watch TV.
Yeah, well,
I did not let her watch TV until she was
problem.
2. No, I did not let her watch TV until she was 2 years old.
She doesn't. You do.
Yeah.
This is nice equality.
And if she's bored, Mom, can I watch the My Little Ponies? No, you can go upstairs and you can go play with the thousands of toys you have.
Well, the
in
thing
your
is
room.
I'm the one who's cooking family dinner. So I'll be like, yeah, you can watch mine. Because, by the way, I'm watching it from the kitchen because I'm totally a brony.
Oh, my God, you're a brony.
No, it is actually...
yes, I love My Little Pony.
it's funny. And B,
Did you
the
see
amount of adult stuff they have in child
There's a documentary
programs
on
is
it.
awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, there's an
Reminds me of,
episode...
like, the Muppets.
There's a
like
documentary.
Yes.
New Muppet series done.
Yeah.
American
No,
Family,
really?
It's going to be done Modern Family style.
Yeah.
With the mockumentary.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
that sounds
this fall,
awesome.
yeah.
I know, I'm stoked. I mean, they did something like, they showed some kind of like corny joke and then they showed Fozzie talking to the camera. I don't think she really understands.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yes. So anyway, you were saying, so you're a brony.
I am, but a lot of the stuff I've talked about in our podcast, like I was listening and all of a sudden I'm like, man, that sounds like the A-Team theme song. I look and sure shit, they're doing a montage just like the A-Team would.
Jeez.
I'm losing it. They've done the Beals. They've done Bioshock, man. They've done Doctor Who.
I saw a picture of one that had Matt or David Tennant's hair and he had an hourglass on his butt.
Yep. And not only
He's
that,
a Time Lord.
there was also Metal Gear Solid, where one of the ponies was the hardcore self, and she was Snake. How they had her dressed and the hair, and the eye patch, she was Snake.
Oh, Solid Snake. Okay.
So I mean, it's the best.
Here's the thing though: these shows for little kids and even movies nowadays, they're written by adults.
Oh yeah.
And they want to put shit in for adults.
Yeah,
And
'cause
every
that's-
Disney movie.
The kid's not going to the movie by themselves.
Well, exactly.
That's true.
But yeah, I will, once Savannah figures out how to use a controller, I'll totally let her play Minecraft.
Ooh, what flavor is this?
War.
What's your nicotine level?
Lowest.
I've got 3, so you've got like 1, or it's got to be 1. Oof, that's
I like
good
that.
stuff. You like that? That's
That one's
this is like
Because mine I won more for
strawberry
a
banana,
hookah.
I want to say.
Sorry, they're handing over. Ooh,
We got
I
the
gotta
mini-
try that too.
We are passing around.
I think I'm gonna go.
One
there
of our
later.
vices.
Actually, I'm gonna pick up.
I'll
another
come with.
flavor. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, Minecraft and like Sav loves watching us.
Yes.
Her two things she will ask me is, can I watch you play Minecraft, and can I watch you, or can you please put on, because she's using her manners. I'm so proud of her.
Yeah.
Is she
Can you?
really?
Yes. When she's here, yes.
Good. Is
Can
that
you?
an issue otherwise?
I don't know,
Okay.
but I just know what I see
We don't
here.
need to talk about it.
So, can I please have my little pony? Yeah, of course you can. You can do that. And I will usually do a 2-episode max, and then like, well, you gotta go play with the dog, or you gotta go play
Right.
upstairs.
But usually half the time when she is watching My Little Pony, she is messing around.
That's when I
She's
stop
not even
it too,
paying attention.
because
Yeah.
then I'll be like, well, I'm playing now. Boop,
Right.
mind.
That's there was a.
Or we'll go for a walk, because now it's summer, but it's freaking 40. How the hell did that
40
happen?
degrees
Louis C.K.
Chicago.
It's Illinois. There's 3 seasons: winter, summer, and construction.
Yeah.
And right now we're in winter.
That's
Like
right.
No, we're in
construction.
both construction. Yeah.
Louis C.K.
Winter
did,
part 2.
did a thing on his show where one of his kids said that she was bored. He's like, you don't get to be bored. You live in America and you have seen exactly none % of the world. You don't get to be bored. There's a
Right.
billion things out there for you to do. And that's true.
Yeah,
know?
you have the option of infinity with the
Mhm.
internet. You could see and learn and do anything.
Not that we're saying let 4-year-olds on the internet.
No,
Maybe
God, no.
it's-
Well,
Well,
you could moderate.
I mean, Beijing.
I don't know, because my child somehow got on YouTube the other day on my phone.
Really?
Really?
Oh,
What was
yeah.
she watching?
She was watching The Jungle Book on my phone through YouTube.
That's
Rock on.
tits.
I definitely just high-five Lauren. That's pretty
That's
cool.
fine.
I
Fantastic.
have
Leave
no
that-
idea
leave that
how
in.
she did it.
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea how she did it. I was at work and she was just waiting for me to get off work and finish up, and yeah, she was watching
Wow.
Jungle Book.
All right, I'm impressed.
I was impressed.
Okay.
She's done a couple things, like with kids, even though she's not my child, there's been times where I'm like, oh, I say that. Like so, like because
Oh, yeah.
they soak up everything,
Yes.
everything. Because a lot one of my words is, "Oh, that's really cool." Oh, Jason, that's cool. I'm like,
Yeah.
I know Lauren doesn't say that.
My
All right.
stepdaughter Samantha, from time to time, she says, "Oh, my cow," and that's mine.
Oh, yeah.
That's totally mine.
Oh,
I
it's like the
remember-
moo cow snort.
Yeah, moo cow.
For 3 years, I just walk and say moo cow, and they go snort.
Yeah, they know
They just
that.
knew
They
what it
just know,
was.
yeah.
Back.
I don't even know where that came from.
I don't know. You made it up.
Yeah,
Go pop
it's one of those
jiggly jam.
Go pop jiggly jam.
Ooh, with made up stuff. If you guys haven't seen, it's a Cartoon Network show called Rick and Morty.
Okay.
Oh my fucking god, it
Really?
is so
I'll check it out.
funny.
I'll type that.
I've
in.
just been watching it on YouTube because they did their first season. It's about a grandfather, crazy scientist who's just absolutely brilliant. Makes these weird creations, and they have their his grandson who follows him on these adventures. The grandfather's an alcoholic, perpetually drinking, a loudmouth, swears, and just does weird shit. And the adventures they get in are stupid, just
I'm all for
stupid
that.
funny. But it's not.
Stupid funny.
But it's not stupid funny in that way. It's
Okay.
intelligent stupid funny because
Let's-
it's all based on science stuff
Oh,
a lot of
that's cool.
times.
Let's cover a little bit of stupid funny stuff here.
Top-
Okay.
or
I'm there.
Real Genius.
Yeah. Well, Real Genius is
That's
that's funny, but it does have some stupid in there.
No,
Let's
no.
talk about,
what
like-
was the Top Secret? I'm sorry, I was thinking
Oh,
Val
yeah,
Kilmer,
Top
and then Top Secret's stupid
Oh,
funny.
I
Real Genius
love
is
that
classic
fucking
funny.
movie. And my wife and daughter or stepdaughter hate
Really?
it. Can't stand it.
I
It was the
didn't
dumbest
realize
fucking
that
movie.
was the people who did Airplane.
Yes.
I did not know
So good.
Zucker, Abrams, Zucker. My worker, one of my coworkers, had not seen that movie before.
Oh my
And I
god!
showed him the scene where the phone is ringing and it's the forced perspective.
Oh, and it's the
the
giant
phone,
phone.
giant walks up
Yeah.
and the phone is like 6 feet long.
It's just one of those. Yeah.
One of my favorites is. I'm sorry, he's only a little horse. It's like this pony who's singing, but it kept coughing. You're like,
Yeah.
"Ugh, it's so
It's
bad.
a little
Oh my
drop-in
God.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
That,
Great movie.
Spies Like Us.
Spies Like Us.
the same thing.
Yes.
The classics, of course, you've got your Caddyshack,
Stripes.
Airplane, Stripes, Airplane, Back to School,
Army training, sir.
Army Train, sir. The amount of ad-libbing.
You
that
mean to
Bill
tell
Murray
me you
did.
guys have been working on this all by yourselves for the last 18 hours?
That's a fact, Jack! Stripes is a classic movie.
Yeah.
And I have an aunt, my godmother actually, who she's just like, I just don't think it's funny. And my uncle, her brother said, you're not watching it right. You're watching it like a funny army movie.
It's
Don't watch
not,
it like a
no.
funny
Ah ha ha! That
Watch
makes
it like
sense.
a Bill Murray movie.
Yeah.
And the next time we saw her, she's like, I get it. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that's
It's
right.
so
It's
good.
hysterical.
Yes.
With all of the movie titles you just named, I've seen one.
Which one?
Which one?
Caddyshack. That's the only movie I've seen.
Did you
Have you
actually
seen
sit all the way
Caddyshack
through?
too?
No.
See,
Good.
Lauren
No,
doesn't-
no.
No, that's
Lauren
good.
doesn't watch movies.
That's good.
No,
I
Lauren,
don't
she has
watch
too much ADD. She can't sit through the
I
whole movie.
can't.
See, when I watch a
Really?
movie,
Physically cannot sit.
when I
through
watch a movie, when I'm drawing a comic, okay, I've got an episode of something going on Netflix because I don't want to get invested in a movie. So I have an episode of like Doctor Who or Family
Frasier.
Guy, Frasier,
Oh, I love Frasier.
MASH,
West Wing.
Simpsons,
Friends
West Wing.
now, too.
Yeah.
Friends is on
Eh,
While
there.
I'm
no,
doing
I
it,
can't do
Friends is a
Friends.
good one because I know it.
I thought you were.
I-
Oh,
the
your sister
Friends,
was watching
Friends
it.
was out when I was in college, so I know it like verbatim. I'll have that going on. I'll have my Game Boy with some game going that I'll flip to from time to time.
Sorry.
Jay's losing his shit because
have-
Bob just played it, so.
I love that
Joey doesn't
episode.
share food. I'm not even sorry.
Sorry.
Gets the dessert at the end. Just
I'll have
cake
of course
everywhere.
the drawing going, and I'll have like a transformer next to me that I'll fiddle with from time to time, and my phone that I'll check. I've got Facebook or Twitter going on there. I can't not just focus. I can't focus on one thing unless I'm in the theater.
Well, that's your
See-
diversion of your tactic. You've always had the ADD issue. And you've
Severe.
You can't,
Before they knew what ADD was, and in grade school they just thought I was stupid.
yeah.
'Cause I
Really?
couldn't
It's
pay
true.
attention.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
they
absolutely
didn't.
true. Yeah.
They didn't
Oh
know
my
what
God.
it was. I grew up thinking I was just stupid.
They threw drugs at him and
No.
trying to fix
Okay.
it. And
Ugh.
But the thing is, like with movies, it just doesn't capture my attention. If I'm sitting down and I'm drawing or painting, or if
Mhm.
once I get my damn sewing machine up and running, I can do that
You
for
have
hours.
Yeah, but
everything
his-
for that.
I know
what
I
I'm
do.
like what he's trying to say is that he can also do that for hours, but he has to have these 3 or 4 other
Multiple
diversions
things.
going
my
at the
art,
same
art
time.
for me is it. If I have to choose between going deaf or going blind, it's a no-brainer. I will go deaf.
Yeah.
I
As
thought the
much
same
as I
thing.
love
yeah.
music,
Same.
I need to see.
I could read
if
subtitles
I
in
can't draw
games.
anymore.
I'm-
I'll put a bullet in my head.
I'm the-
There's
I'm
just
the
no
opposite.
reason to be.
If I
Yeah,
had
but
to
you're
choose-
music
no,
is your
you
life.
are hair music.
Yeah.
You're that
Yes.
person who could play anything. You
Yes,
pick it
you
up
are.
and just
Yes.
it's amazing.
I have to hear it. I could get around this world not seeing anything as long as I could hear what the hell.
That's
going
right.
on.
I get it.
That's right.
It's just,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
we'll do a buddy movie with.
Hear no evil.
Hear no evil, see no evil.
Yeah.
What are the fuckers' names?
Gene
Richard
Wilder?
Pryor and Gene Wilder.
Oh,
That's right,
yes.
yeah. Mhm. No,
Oh, that was
yeah,
was it Richard
it's Richard
Pryor?
Pryor.
Yeah.
Oh my
Had
god.
a couple
And that's
of
when
them
he
together.
was really starting to get a little.
Yeah.
And it was from was it MS? It was MS.
Yeah, I
Or
believe that's
was
Wow.
it Parkinson's?
No,
No,
it
it was
was
MS.
MS.
I don't know. I
And
wanted to
to
talk
whoever's
about
listening
something.
to this right now, if we're wrong, we're sorry. If
Yeah.
we're right, screw you.
It was probably Super AIDS. I don't know.
Oh.
I wanted to talk about something. Anybody who's seen my personal posts on Facebook and a couple of the comics knows that I'm not a big fan of religion, to the point of being almost militantly against it.
What are the three
You
things
are-
you shouldn't bring up in a group conversation? Politics, religion, and family.
sex.
Oh, sex. Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Oh, really?
talkable.
No, we had a whole
I was
podcast
gonna
on
say, we
sex.
did
Yeah.
a whole
Porn.
podcast on
But
porn.
if you're talking about if you're talking to a
Because you're a
customer,
classy lady, hon.
if you're talking to a customer, the three middle rails
Well played.
Of conversation are politics, religion, and sex. You can't win.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's right.
can't
I agree with that.
Even if the person you're talking to agrees with you 100%, you're an asshole for bringing it
Yeah.
up. You know.
Leo.
I have serious misgivings about religion. I was born a Catholic, became a Methodist, then a Southern Baptist. I was born again a couple of times, because first time. And then I kind of drifted back and forth, kind of went towards Buddhism a little bit, and I still lean towards Buddhism just because it kind of falls in with my worldview. But Buddhism isn't a religion; it's a lifestyle.
Same with like Taoism.
That's right.
It's a
That's right.
Eastern religion. It's just, hey, here's a guideline.
Here's a way of living your life without being a complete and total dick. You don't.
Yeah.
need
But
to believe
everyone
in a
should
God.
live their life that way.
That's right. And I don't need
Like,
a
I don't
personal
understand.
belief structure.
Agreed.
I
I
don't-
don't
I don't
have to
need a
have
book.
fear being like, oh, you're going to hell if you do this.
That's right.
Really? If I plant crops next to each other, I'm going to hell?
Mhm.
If I touch-
Eh.
but I could sell my daughter into slavery for a good
Perfect.
price, that's right.
Good.
You have a daughter? Probably.
No,
We're
she's-
more than likely.
no, she's a slave.
Not anymore. I've got the receipt.
Which, by the way, because Zach went into anthropology,
Uh-huh.
there's two things that are super dated back. Like, as far as ancient, or as humanity could kind of go, the two things that are recorded on, like, stone tablets are a business transaction and receipt. And the recipe for beer. That should tell you a lot about humankind.
Yeah, no kidding.
The two things that go back
Yeah.
is a receipt for, like, 4 slaves and something,
Yeah,
and the recipe for beer.
yeah. That
Yeah.
and the guy who invented, and I'm not trying to hijack this, but the guy who invented coffee,
Ugh.
I want to shoot him and thank him.
Yeah.
Because
I love you.
yeah, it's like, thank you, this is fantastic.
But I'm
what
addicted
in the
and have a
hell
headache
made
every
you
morning.
Think I'm
Yeah,
going to
why
take
would-
this
I wanna
bean,
boil
that
You know
tastes
what?
like
out of these
a cat's
ground-up
ass,
beans.
and I want to boil the shit out of it because I'm pretty certain it's going to taste good after I do that. What?
You know, people don't think these things. It just accidentally happens, and they're like,
Yeah,
So
it really
exactly-
does.
Okay, who's the
Think
first
of the
guy that ate a
process.
lobster? A giant sea cockroach.
Exactly.
Well, the thing is,
Let's
when
boil this and put it in
no,
water.
that was the thing when America was first founded. One of the things that they would only serve prisoners was lobster,
Yeah.
and it got put into the Supreme Court at the time, and was considered unconstitutional.
I don't know what.
It was against humanity. They didn't like that they
Oh,
were
oh.
serving these roaches because
Yes.
they considered them sea
Well,
It was
roaches.
Actually
poor man's
are
food.
sea
Because
Yes.
on the East Coast,
'Cause
you
they-
could literally
whoop.
walk out to the
Yeah.
beach,
And
pick up a
now
lobster,
it's
and now it's a delicacy.
cat's meow.
Which is, and people die getting fucking crustaceans. Which is, by the way, I don't need to see that show. Don't tell me how many people died. Bring me my crab. Just bring me my crab, okay? Anyway, about religion, I have always kind of touted myself that
She has
I,
two bones.
as anti-religion as I am, if you have a belief system and it works for you, more power to you.
But keep it to yourself.
Keep it to yourself. But I know people who we've talked about if someone is nice to you but they're rude to a waiter, then they're not a nice
Right.
person. You know, there are people like that who the only reason that they are not murdering and not killing and not raping
Is
or-
because
or-
belief
because
of a book written 35,000 years ago? Or 100 years ago?
they're afraid that they're going to burn in hell.
Yeah.
Because of this arbitrary set of rules that came forth from on high and whatever.
Which is
And-
great and horrifying in the same moment.
Yeah, because people say if religion isn't real, then there are no consequences, are there? Then there really is no right or wrong.
Why does
I
it
know
have to be constant?
there is a right or wrong. It's my personal belief system. I
Yeah,
don't
but-
need I don't need a religion to tell me that it's wrong to hit people and to steal shit. Okay, I don't need.
How about to
a
fuck
God
someone's
tell me.
donkey? Neighbor's donkey.
It's
It's
illegal
right
in
there.
Arkansas, but not Texas. just so
Perfect.
you know.
We gotta go to Texas.
What kind of donkey?
Well, not a jackass, but
Okay. Well, I don't know. You know.
So you
it's-
can't-
I don't know what the
yourself.
female donkey is considered. So
Okay. So. I kind of lost my train of thought.
Bob
Now
is
thinking about
losing his
donkeys.
shit. Hey, it was in the
Anyway.
Tom Hanks movie.
It
So
was.
What?
yeah, the
Bachelor
Bachelor party?
Yes.
He
Donkey.
fucked
Oh.
a donkey in the
No,
back?
there's a
the
donkey show.
died in the
Oh.
elevator.
because remember he brought
Clerks
the
too.
donkey up.
And it,
Remember Clerks 2?
No, I
The
didn't.
donkey show?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh my god!
I only
Clerks
saw the
2 with
original
Roseanne, with Roxanne Rosario Dawson. Holy fuck!
Really?
That's a funny scene.
Oh wait, sorry. Religion.
So religion.
keep
hold on, I want to pose a question to you then.
no donkeys.
if you're saying
Oh no, wait.
you're sitting here talking about this, about how you have this.
I'm gonna get to why I'm an asshole about it.
Well, it has nothing to do with being an asshole or with the fact that
yeah.
you're being steadfast in your beliefs, because it's all moral fortitude at one point or another,
Mm.
and trying to find some sort of anyone who is in a religion. There are people that we know that will follow a religious principle, whether or not it agrees with their own moral principles.
That's
But
right.
Most people generally choose a religion based on their moral principles. They will choose. I choose to be a Catholic because I think that most of what Catholics believe
Yeah.
in is what I believe in as well.
That makes
So,
sense. I've never
you-
actually thought of it that way.
so
but-
Find
you-
the one that's closest to what you
Well,
believe.
the problem we
That's-
have with
and
that
I
though
think that's
right
why
now
you
is
should,
is
you know,
most kids are forced into a religion at a young age, and they're
Yes.
taught that this is the only way you can believe because this is the religious structure that your parents have, and therefore you must think like that. And by the time you're of age to be able to physically make those decisions in your mind, as far as the law is concerned, that's 18. As far as most society is concerned, it's about 14 or 15.
Mm.
You're already confirmed. You're already an adult in almost every religion.
You were absolutely. You were leaning right into where
Judaism.
I was
and
Judaism, you've gone to your bat mitzvah and all that. Okay, but my point is,
going. Bat mitzvah.
you have your right to stand here and talk about standing on your own, and you don't believe in any of that stuff.
Mhm.
And anyone else can certainly have the right to believe in that stuff, but keep it to yourself.
Right.
What gives you the right to talk about not believing it versus them not having the right to talk to you about it? I'm
Well,
I'm
here's the
posing
thing.
the question. I'm
Here's the
playing
thing.
devil's
He's
advocate.
past that
and I'm
age.
glad you brought that up because this is where. First of all, I consider myself more educated in religion than most people because I've run through the gamut. I've examined as many religions as I possibly
Well,
can.
yeah, most people have a belief structure in their one religion and
Yeah, that's
possibly a
it.
parallel
That's it.
religion.
That's it. And they-
that's it.
And
a
that
lot
drives
of
me
people-
nuts. I'm sorry. If you go to one, you should have to be able, well, here's a couple others. Because
Sure.
majority of Earth, totally different religions.
Yes.
Between
Muslims,
Muslims
Indians.
and, yeah.
I actually got into an online argument with a
Ooh,
person
that sounds bad.
that I was friends with because she said that she wanted to she tried to go to a church. She went to 4 different churches in her area. She was having an emotional crisis, and none of the churches were open.
What?
I mean,
How does a
open-
church not be
Church
open?
is closed. They have
Yeah,
hours.
church is closed. The only ones that the sanctuaries are always open are Catholics and Lutherans. You can
Well,
go there
and
at the
Okay.
same
it turns
time.
out Buddhist temples. And I said you should go
But
to this
Buddhism
Buddhist
isn't a
temple.
religion.
I said you should go to this Buddhist temple if you want somebody to talk to.
Sure.
I sent her the link and the address. She goes, "I'm not going there. I don't subscribe to the religion."
Is this the one that we went to?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
the one
and I
in
told her, I said
Woodstock.
it's not a religion. I
It's
know
awesome.
plenty
They're
of
so
Christians
nice.
and Catholics that are Buddhists, and plenty of Buddhists that are Christians and Catholics, because there's a difference, you know. And I said, just go there. There'll be somebody there who can talk to you. She goes, I don't subscribe to that religion. I hate that you try to do this to me. She got really mad at me and unfriended me.
She doesn't know.
You know, she went on and on about how Buddhism is a religion. So anyway,
Which
and
some
that was just
people
her
do believe, but
that
that's
was
just
her
uneducated.
lack of education
Yeah.
in the subject. I have researched religions a lot because I was trying to justify what I knew to be scientifically truthful with what I thought to be religiously truthful. And I was trying to merge the two in the whole concept of maybe Adam and Eve were the first humans born from monkeys or apes or whatever. And just I was trying to make it all work somehow because I desperately wanted to believe. And I got to tell you, the day I told myself I'm an atheist, I don't believe in God, there is no God, was one of the hardest days of my life.
Dude, it hurts.
Cried.
I was agnostic for the longest time, and
There's
then
something
finally
out there,
I
I'm not really
made
sure what.
no, I made the realization that if there is something out there and I die and I go to heaven, God knows my true soul
Mhm.
and knows that I didn't believe him. Well, fuck. So I guess I'm like, well, okay, I guess I'm atheist at this point. That hurt.
That hurts.
To make that decision, I was like in tears.
Yes.
You're like,
Yeah.
what the shit?
But
Yeah.
I had.
That was just recently,
I
too,
just
like
don't have
2
a
months
soul,
ago.
so it's fine.
Yes.
no.
Well, you're not
You're
redhead.
Not even
You're,
ginger.
Are you a redhead?
No.
Do you just die?
No.
Because you're super blonde.
I mean,
in
the curtains
all
are blonde,
aspects.
but what's the cuffs?
No, she doesn't have curtains.
She has curtains. She doesn't have cuffs.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Oh, rug. We do rug.
What?
Okay.
You're shaved.
Okay.
You shave your twat.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all this
That
conversation
would,
was.
you
on.
wouldn't. Okay, if we were talking about dyeing hair,
Bob,
okay, you
no,
would
we
dye-
really did have a whole conversation on porn.
We
You
did.
would
We
dye
did.
your hair. You
Yeah.
might dye your eyebrows. You wouldn't dye your snatch.
No.
So I asked if the cuffs match the curtains.
Oh.
I've always
And he
known
said there
as
are no
drapes.
cuffs.
And
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
So anyway, but for a long time I had only posted stuff on Facebook that was anti-religion as far as keep religion out of my government. I'm sick and tired of religions saying, "Hey, you can't have this freedom because we don't believe in it." It's like saying you can't eat that food because I'm on a diet. You know, gay marriage.
Yeah,
you
that's
can't
fair.
have gay marriage because the Bible says it's wrong, and you can't do this because God says it's bad and whatever. And it pissed me off. And so I was saying for the longest time, just if you want to believe something, great, just keep it out of my fucking my government. Okay, I know we're running along, but what are you gonna do?
we're going to run along on this one. That's fine.
Okay.
Because I like this topic. And
Yeah.
by the way, in England, because Lauren's English and her mom is English,
Cousin?
and came over here.
Quick.
Hello, governor.
Well, no.
Protestant?
She hates, like,
She hates
Lauren's,
cotton.
her mother hates that there's so much religion in the U.S. government.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Oh,
it
yeah.
is a problem. It's a fucking problem.
There's never been
There
a confirmed atheist president.
Well, but there's been atheist presidents.
I'm sure
is
there
the
has.
thing.
They've never been able to
I'm
admit
willing
it.
to bet, like,
New Zealand has an atheist
Lincoln
president
now.
right now. Just out in the open.
Yeah.
Don't
Well,
believe
yeah,
in God,
guess
and
what?
they're fine.
Amsterdam has a mayor that's a crossdresser.
Great.
There's
Good
just
job. But you know, following up to your point on this, I actually had seen this on West Wing when it first came out and thought it was ridiculous.
I love
And
that show.
Now that I have
Mhm.
seen it again,
It still holds up.
I know.
I revisit it in my mind, and I think it absolutely makes 150% perfect sense.
What's it?
The government should have absolutely no control or power in determining what marriage is.
Thank you.
agreed.
As far as a marriage is concerned,
It's between the two people involved.
Or more.
you
I don't-
two,
I don't mind
married or
it.
not, the
Yeah,
government
polygamy.
shouldn't give a shit.
No,
Government
that's
should
right.
look at you. You pay your taxes. You pay your taxes.
Wonderful.
I know.
Good
Thank
talk.
you. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Taxes are not supposed to be are not supposed to be used to influence decisions, or they're not supposed to be used to influence behavior.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't tax somebody less because they're married. We shouldn't tax you more on cigarettes or alcohol. And
There's
this
a purpose behind that, and
I
I
know,
actually don't
I know,
have a
but the
problem with
syntax
that.
No,
is
I'm
the
just saying.
syntax is okay. Well, you go to Canada
Mhm.
because the Canadian government is who runs liquor stores.
Yeah.
The liquor stores are the ones that sell you the cigarettes too.
That's right.
So it's all going back to the government.
It's the same thing down in
Fucking
Alabama.
maple syrup
Any
bastards.
you can buy beer and wine in grocery stores, but any
Hard liquor.
And-
liquor goes. You have to go to the ABC.
Really?
Yeah, it's
I
called the
didn't know
Alabama
that.
Beverage Control,
Wow.
and it's you go to the ABC store is what it is. And
Holy
it says
cow.
ABC store, and that's where you buy liquor. It's the only place you can buy liquor.
I did
in
not know
Alabama.
that. I
fact,
did know.
They also no alcohol on Sundays. You cannot
The
purchase
blue
alcohol.
law.
I
I
had
told
no
Lauren
idea.
this. I'm like, thank God
There's
there's
a
no
lot of-
blue law.
and
She's
there's
like,
a
what are
lot
you
of-
talking about? I'm like, yeah, in like Texas or down
Kentucky
below the Bible Belt.
Below the
There's
Bible, that's right.
blue counties where you can't. buy
Yeah, and guess
alcohol
what?
in-
Where
on
they
Sunday.
make fucking Jack Daniels, you can't buy Jack
I cannot
Daniels.
buy- I
You
know.
can't get free. You
God
can't get
damn
free
it.
samples there anymore either,
I know.
because you can't have it.
I'm
But
here for the tour
it's funny.
again.
because if you look at the two counties in there's Jefferson County, which is where Birmingham is.
Okay.
Birmingham it's just northeast of being in the center of Jefferson County,
Okay.
and then you have Tuscaloosa County, which butts up against Mississippi, and it's just southwest of the center of Tuscaloosa County.
Which
Okay.
is where the University of Alabama.
University.
Yeah.
That's where.
Which,
yeah.
by the way, if it wasn't for the University of Alabama, Tuscaloosa would not exist.
Oh no, but a lot of those towns were
Yeah,
like that.
it would be a lot of college towns.
Do you know how many in Illinois are like that?
Oh, I'm sure.
Because we have no.
Galesburg.
Galesburg has nothing.
Dixon.
Everything has gone down to Mexico.
Yeah.
We've lost all of our industry in the U.S. Well, it feels like most of it.
But if
the
you-
poverty rate at University of Illinois
Champaign?
Seriously.
Champaign is
Thank you.
ridiculous.
Really?
Charlottesville. I couldn't.
It is insane.
I didn't know
South
that.
Carolina.
That's crazy.
They have this enormous.
Well, you know what's
campus.
huge too
Charlotte.
is Peoria
Charlottesville
with
is in
Catapult.
South Carolina.
Catapult's a huge thing that Illinois every year fights to keep in our state.
Yeah.
What is it?
Because Catapult
I don't know what that is.
or
Caterpillar.
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 God,
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
Sorry, that's the
I was
booze.
like, we're still making those?
Yeah,
Where's
you-
Trip Machine manufactured?
South side of Chicago.
1554. Well, no,
But-
what I was going to say was,
Sorry.
so you have these two counties that are right next to each other. Tuscaloosa County is a dry county on Sundays, which technically means at 2 a.m., no more alcohol sales. And literally, if you have, it's not like at 1:59 you can buy a beer and finish it. At 2 o'clock, you're dumping it out.
Holy
Yeah,
cow!
You're fucking
really?
done. But here's the funny part:
Wow.
Jefferson County,
Yeah.
You don't have to
which
go
is the
shopping
next
yet.
county over, and it's about
Like-
51 miles from T-Town, Tuscaloosa to Birmingham.
Okay.
But it's 21 miles or 24 miles to the Jefferson County border.
How
Over
many
there.
stores are there?
One
or
store.
bars?
It is a petro station. It's a truck stop that has spaces for like 250 trucks, so it's ginormous.
Yeah.
And you could find at least 3 or 4 representatives from every fraternity
Oh
at about
God.
2:15 a.m. at that petro station getting alcohol.
Stay on mic, you were.
no, he's
That's fine.
Oh, okay.
he's
All
doing all right.
So
That's why I always keep this on.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm pointing to my
So
headset.
it's packed. At 2:15 a.m. you drive up there because the only place is close to Tuscaloosa you can get beer. You can't get in Mississippi, which is right next to Tuscaloosa County.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah, Mississippi. I believe the whole place, maybe up the northern side near Memphis, is not. And I'm not exactly. I've memorized the blue status
Yeah.
of every county in Mississippi, of course, but it's bizarre because. And the belief system is so bizarre. Well, alcohol is going to make you impure if you drink it on Sundays.
By the way,
Okay.
alcohol is mentioned several times in the Bible, and it's all good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple times about overdoing it.
However, the U.S. has been a little bit less now, but like when we first founded, was over. Like
yeah.
the amount of alcoholics we had was
This
enormous.
is-
Our founding fathers, most of
Yeah,
them ran their
jealous.
own distillery.
Did you
Right.
ever see
But it was
the
it was
bar
looked at-
tab from George Washington's retirement party?
No
It's online.
bull,
You can see it.
bullshit.
No,
How the
it's-
hell is this documented?
It's in
Well, I
the-
guess I
it's
did
in
say the
National-
oldest thing was
It's in the National Archives. And
receipts and
it's
Yeah,
just
booze.
a ridiculous amount of alcohol. I can't even begin to describe it, but it's like all this mead, beer, wine, liquor, bottles and bottles and jugs and bottles for 50 people. And they got fucked.
So, since we're talking politics and West Wing and all this, it made me think of the Big Block of Cheese Day, which was Andrew
Oh,
Jackson.
Andrew
However,
Jackson. Andrew Jackson.
we're bringing this to modern times in that they're thinking of getting rid of him on the bill.
They want to put a woman.
Yeah, they
If
want to
they're-
do like
it's-
Susan
it's
B. Anthony
just
or
to reiterate, they're not, or to change the little bit. They don't want to get rid of Andrew Jackson. They just want to put a woman on there.
yeah, which is fine. But Andrew Jackson was batshit crazy.
batshit.
And you
fucking
go
crazy.
back in history and look at this. He was the one who killed a motherfucker in a duel,
Yeah.
That's right.
which it was supposed to be a gentleman's duel, which means they shoot off
Mhm.
and whatever. Yeah, I called you a duel. He wasn't supposed to kill the guy.
Yeah, right.
That was Aaron Burr.
Yeah.
No,
Aaron Burr
I'm
shot
pretty.
the guy. Andrew Jackson got into.
Aaron
Andrew
Burr
Jackson is the guy who beat the guy who beat a fucker.
Because he
Um,
attempted to assassinate him.
Attempted
He
to
shot
assassinate
him,
with
didn't
2
kill him,
pistols.
so he killed him with his cane.
He beat the hell out of him. 2 pistols. Both of them misfired. Okay, this is a great story. Okay, in the Capitol Rotunda, Andrew Jackson's walking out with 2 buddies. Okay, and two whatever. Okay, and this is before the Secret Service, obviously, a long time.
Oh, that
and-
wasn't until the Civil War.
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln signed that into law, like I think the day that he was assassinated.
Yeah.
Or
Ouch.
signed the bill to whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
so this guy who was a whack job and thought that he was supposed to be the king of England, and somehow Andrew Jackson was keeping him from claiming that title. Okay, went and tried to assassinate Jackson. Both of his little derringers misfired. Okay, which they say was like a miracle. Okay,
I hate to say it, they probably weren't called derringers.
Well,
mini
yeah,
pistols?
no.
Yeah, but
Well, both of his pistols.
They were probably flintlock back then, my
Yeah,
friend.
They both misfired, and all the
time
newspapers
frame
said.
of
Yeah.
John Darrington.
All the newspapers said, "Ooh, it's a miracle. It's almost impossible. The chances of that happening." Now, let's keep in mind though that was probably sensationalized a little bit for the newspapers because the guy was batshit fucking crazy. He probably didn't know how to load a pistol, you know. So
They're all empty.
by the time the second bullet didn't go off, Andrew Jackson was pissed off and was beating the guy with his cane.
Right.
So they pulled him off of him. They arrest the guy for and they put him on trial for attempted assassination of the president.
Oh, that was the first one, wasn't
very
it?
first time that the insanity defense was used.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
And it was successful.
Yep.
The whole world watched to see how this was going to turn out, and it
Right.
was successful. He was sentenced to life in an insane asylum, which
Is
back
death.
then, you might as well just shot the guy in
Well,
the head.
up
with a
until like the 1800s was still death. If
Yeah.
you went to a insane asylum,
Yeah, it was
you
like
were
game
going
over.
to die.
Game over. By the way, here's a little trivia thing: the prosecuting attorney who lost that case,
John Wilkes Booth.
no, he was an actor. Take a guess. Francis Scott Key.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
That's right.
That's crazy.
That's my stupid trivia for the day. So anyway, all of this was about how I've kind of I took the ball and ran with it as far as the anti-religious stuff on Facebook and on my online posts and on some of my comics and whatnot. Just going to town on anti-religious stuff. And I know I've gotten out of hand to the point of my godparents don't talk to me anymore. They've cut me out of my life.
Wait, what?
My lives. My godparents.
No, really?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Last year. Actually,
Oh my
about a
God,
year
I
and a
didn't
half
know
ago,
about
right
that.
before I moved, about a year and a half ago.
Holy cow.
I had posted some comment about how, hey, instead of trying to pray your problems away, why don't you try fucking doing something? You know?
Okay.
Now they have a child who has special needs, and they've done everything medically that they possibly can for her.
Yeah.
And so now all they have left is prayer. And they're basically saying, so you think that we're not doing anything now? And I didn't mean it that way. It was in response to the same crazy girl that I talked about earlier
Yeah.
with the whole Buddhism thing, who was saying, aren't you glad that God cured your cancer? God didn't cure shit.
Yeah, the radiation and chemo.
It was a team of scientists. I actually didn't have chemo. It was just radiation. But
Oh,
it was
really?
a team of scientists and specially trained medical personnel
And a surgeon.
and a surgeon who took care of my cancer. And I got a stack of bills that proves it, okay?
Still?
So, yeah, it's a payment plan. But
Okay.
shit's expensive, even with
Mhm.
insurance, you know? So, that's where that all stemmed from. So, oh, that was cute.
We're fucking adorable.
Goddamn right. You represent, ho.
Yeah, you just called her a hoe.
I was actually looking at
Shut
you.
your hole.
Uh,
no, you're wrong.
Yeah. Never mind. I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah.
Just a little?
So, fast forward a couple of years, and I'm talking to my goddaughter, who kind of shares my religious views,
Ours.
our religious views. She's not,
And her mother's.
and her mother's, that's true. She's about to be confirmed.
She already was.
Well, no, this
At
is
the
back,
time.
This is
Oh,
when I was talking.
I'm sorry.
And I basically told her, I said, and she's like, I'm doing it. I guess I'm doing it. I don't really, whatever, I guess. And I said, listen, here's the deal. It means a lot to your dad and his family. It means the world to them. It's really important to them that you do this. You've come this far. You've gone through the whole process.
And this is all Catholicism, by
Yes.
the way.
Just, it costs you nothing to get confirmed.
I disagree.
For her.
For her.
For
You'll
a
see.
16-year-old girl. I said, it costs you nothing to get confirmed. And she goes, okay. And so she did it. And it literally did cost her nothing. It didn't.
In her mind is the thing.
because-
Bob.
Right now it doesn't.
But here's the thing.
2 years from now, when she's trying to stand up for herself to say, you know what, I don't believe in this shit.
But here's the thing. I did that. My dad's fully
She's
in.
already done that.
Yeah.
She's already done that.
Yeah,
As
the
far
first
as
thing
dad
she
is
says, like,
concerned,
I would rather be a Buddhist.
yes.
And that's what she owns
Her
up to.
father has said, please just do me this one favor. And so she did. All that
However-
he is
That was-
concerned
you didn't
with
present that side.
is,
Okay.
let me just get these kids confirmed, and
Yeah.
I've done my job as a Catholic.
And to the
Yeah.
top of that,
And he's right.
Dan made one of the hardest decisions I can't even imagine to make, ever.
What?
And I respect him so much for this. To marry Jenny,
Mhm.
because they went to some sort of they had to be
You
pre-approved
got to
for
do
marriage
the
or
whole,
something
for
for
Catholic
Catholic?
marriages.
Catholic-
Well,
Catholic-
it
yes,
is.
free.
Okay.
You need to be yoked the same in order for a marriage to work.
However, my sister, Dan's wife, is not Catholic. So
Not
Dan
even a little
had
bit.
to make the acceptance and understand in his mind and in his belief that she's going to hell
Yeah.
when they die.
Wow.
Yeah, that is just like,
Which-
I respect you so much. You love her so much that you would take a lifetime over eternity. Because that's your choices at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's hard. It's
it
just,
is.
especially to me, because I'm not in the same belief, but I respect that choice, and that had to have been just a monumentous thought that he had to put into that.
That being said, I gave that little speech to my goddaughter, knowing that she was going to do it anyway, but I just wanted to reassure her and let her know, listen, it's important. You're doing a good thing. It costs you nothing, and it did cost her nothing. In fact, she made some scratch on it, so good for her.
What?
Yeah, you get
Party.
money for that
Confirmation party.
What?
Oh,
Yes.
That's a thing?
Well, not
You
really.
get money for graduating preschool,
Here's
like
the
my
thing.
child did last year from your father.
You're really not supposed to. You're not supposed to get.
Well, it's like a quinceanera for
But-
Catholics. If your
sorry.
family is
Dad
is-
really give her money?
Yes, Dad gave her money. Dad gave her $5.
if your family's
Who's dad?
I love my
Your dad,
dad.
Russ?
Yeah.
He loves Savannah.
He does.
It's like
he really
weird.
does. He
It's
loves
so weird.
Nelly.
Fuck
He
did that
loves.
happen?
I
know.
don't know, but
He knows he's got 3 other grandchildren in a house like 3 blocks away from here, right?
can we go back to the fact that he has 9 other
Oh,
grandchildren?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Woof.
That's
After I gave that little speech to her, I started thinking to myself, you're kind of a fucking hypocrite. I felt like an a-hole because a lot of my stuff online, while it is still about to keep religion out of my government, a lot of it has also drifted to fuck you and your goddamn bullshit.
Yeah, it has.
And I'm starting to feel bad about that part.
Well,
so I'm going to lay off on that, I think.
I don't know if it's necessarily something the way it's all in perception. It's all presentation and perception. It's not just how you present things, but it's also how things are perceived. So if you say something, it's one of those things where you have to think about. You have to look at it from all sides, and you do have somewhat of your filter is thinner than many others, and that's just who you are. No one's trying to change that or anything. But by the same point, when you get into a public forum, when you have as many friends as you do, and the way Facebook is, it's your friends of friends that can see that. So your 1,000 friends on Facebook extends to several 100,000 when you extend that out.
Which, by the way, is why, just because of my profession, I don't use Facebook.
Yeah.
The best I use is I throw pictures on there.
Yeah.
Occasionally he likes a comic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I like our
it.
comics,
But-
especially that I write.
Yeah. I give you credit on the last
You did. I love that one. Seriously, it was funny. Sorry.
The filtration part of it has to come from the fact that, you got to be able, if you're going to do that, you got to be able to accept the repercussions of what someone did. And, as much as what your godparents did, believe it or not, as ridiculous as I think it is, I implore them for standing up the way that they did.
Oh, I kind of
their belief.
They stood up for their beliefs, and that's
right.
respectable.
Yes.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yes, although it's more him than her.
Regardless of
It's
what it
turned-
is.
it
I
turns
know.
out,
I know.
but-
And that's-
I know that
Go into further
someone
detail.
else wears the pants.
I'm
Sorry, I was pointing to Lauren.
It's just one of those things where if you're going to be in a public forum like that, you have to be able to
Own up?
accept own up for the
That's
fact
it.
that
It's-
if the 100,000 people
Yes.
that may see this, one of them's probably not going to like it.
And that's the thing about Facebook.
Not
It's
even
the old-
Facebook. We're doing a podcast that's going to be put up on the internet.
I know, but
We're gonna get. Oh, this is great, and we're gonna give it. You guys are sinners, and
Yeah.
you're going to hell. And
what's the old Gabe's greater internet theory?
oh my god,
It's just-
animosity equals douchebag.
Yeah, internet plus or open forum plus animosity or anonymity.
Anonymity. I'm sorry.
equals douchebag.
Well, yeah, and even though you put your picture up for Facebook and you have it's the detachment syndrome of being behind a computer keyboard and not, even though it's instant responses
Ooh,
sometimes.
I'll give you a good one with that.
If you put a post, someone can respond instantly. But if you and I have an argument right here, right now,
It's different.
a total different.
Guess what?
circumstance.
You may not own up.
That's
And
right.
Macklemore actually had a song about that, rapper,
Yeah.
where
Are you quoting Macklemore?
White rapper.
yeah, because
He's
it's
wonderful.
awesome, and you would actually enjoy it
I've
Actually,
listened to Macklemore.
because he had a thing about
I had
the
a-
song's
Actually,
called
not
"Same
bad
Love."
live. I've seen a
I
couple of
had-
his live
I had
things
an
on
issue
Palladium.
with-
Oh
and I
my
was
god,
like,
it's
what?
awesome! Yeah,
This
I had
guy's
an issue
good?
with him.
Yeah,
What
he's
the
really
fuck?
good.
He's wonderful.
Well, the thing is
I had an issue with him apologizing for receiving an award that he thought should a rap award. And he thought, well, this should obviously go to a black artist. And it's like, what? It's a rap award. Do you think only black people are allowed to rap? What do you think you do? Why are you doing this? If you
well, I don't know that, so I just do know he did a song called "Same Love," and in one of the lyrics, he talks about how
what's the song? One Love.
it's same love,
Same
but
Love.
it's
I was gonna
about
say, One Love is a reggae song.
him and his uncle and how his uncle is in a gay relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
What the hell, Lauren? Lauren just blew smoke in my face.
Sorry.
So.
Because I love you.
Yeah, about that.
Your
I
mic's
like you
turned red.
marginally. Can I fart in your face?
No. Why do I have pink eye?
Anyway, I'm sorry.
So he writes a song and he even mentions like, yeah, all these people have this bravery behind a message board, you know, like calling people faggots and gay and all this other stuff. You're like, hey, aren't we kind of past that point? But
No, we're not.
not even a
Sadly.
little bit. And
And-
it drives
and I
me
will say,
nuts.
We're
Nuts.
as far as we've ever come. You know,
For
society.
our society.
we have.
Guess
we have
what? Go
come
to England
so
and go
far.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But on the flip side, go to Saudi Arabia where you're stoned or thrown off buildings because
That's
you're
right.
gay. That's awesome.
right.
Or for being a woman who didn't wear something to cover her face.
Yeah.
Right.
Or by not showing the correct thing during a soccer match.
That's right. Yeah.
But
Allah
it's okay. They're
Allah
our
Akbar.
allies.
Allah
So,
Akbar,
woo!
yes. Yeah.
Oh, God damn it. And now they're in a war and murdering hundreds of thousands of people. So it's wonderful.
Yeah. Watch
his life.
BBC News and Al Jazeera News. You get the truth behind all that stuff.
I don't. You, know, when I
You have
want
to
my
watch the
real-
both.
Well, when I want,
Don't watch American news.
I
That's
Oh,
won't
God,
watch,
no.
I don't watch CNN, and I sure as shit don't watch
Right.
Fox News.
Oh, fuck no.
Yeah, yeah. It's ridiculous.
Well, it's the same thing because you're not going to get anything. And the thing is you have to take all the information you can and decide for yourself.
Right.
If
And
you
that's the
watch-
horrifying part because everyone is a
Well-
goddamn political agenda.
Yeah, and what's funny is you'll see. I like to troll people who are
You trolling?
extremely left or extremely right
Yes.
on the internet. Okay, like someone will get in and talk about how religion has to be part of government, and it's easy fucking pickings. Same
Yeah,
thing
I
on the
get
right
that.
side where they're talking about.
And do you like throw in like, hey, maybe we should stop gerrymandering and then you
Oh,
won't have these
it's-
huge sides.
I actually just got into a conversation about that this morning, and,
Really?
and inevitably, when I pose an opposing viewpoint to someone from
Yeah.
one side or the other, they immediately like if I go against this one particular left winger, he will bring in something and talk about how the Republicans are fucking everything up and blah blah blah. This okay, great, fine, believe what you want, and then I'll come in and I'll make some sort of comment, and the first fucking defense they come up with is, sorry, some of us get our news from other sources than Fox. And I'm like, so do I. Your premise is stupid. Doesn't matter whether I get my news from Fox.
I
NBC,
love
or-
those things
Oh,
like,
it's so
and
great.
you're just killed yourself
it's
right there. Your
freaking
point
great.
means
Absolutely.
nothing.
And you know one thing I've noticed, and I'm not trying to say that Republicans are better than Democrats or vice versa, but the only people to delete me as a friend from a political argument on Facebook are
Republicans?
Democrats.
Really?
I swear to God.
I would not have seen that.
I pick on both sides equally, I swear.
yeah,
Because
no, I know. I'm
right
your
now-
friend. I've
right-
read them.
Right now, it's
And
the
you're
Democrats.
the
who are
goddamn weatherman.
Yes.
But
Bob's weather. Oh my God.
Bob's
We're
weather
getting ready for-
forecast is better than Tom Skilling's.
We're getting ready for a cookout, and our friend Laura texts Bob on a group text to all of us and says, "Hey Bob, what's the weather going to be like tomorrow?" And I just reply with, "Oh God."
Yeah.
Because I know it's going to be like, well, I know I'm about to learn about barometric pressure.
Yeah, except it's barometric pressure, not barometric. But that's
no.
I don't
It's
care!
No, it was the comment was actually, what's it going to be like tomorrow? Short version is what she actually said. So I gave you the short version,
She's
and
wise.
Yeah.
and it worked out. It's
You
the
have
weather to
something
me
that
is
fascinates
it's
you.
just it's tornadoes. It's the two tornadoes that
Ooh,
I've seen
yeah.
in my lifetime that have this.
I saw
unbelievable
one,
fascination.
and I had this just pure pucker factor, which means your ass tightens so
Hey,
hard,
Sucking
a
the
pin
DVDs up in your
cannot
ass.
go in your
Yeah.
asshole.
Were you working that night of the Fairdale tornado?
Yeah.
That came up through.
Yeah.
No, you weren't. You were
Was
here
I?
with me.
Oh, no.
And
And we had to go in the basement. I'm sorry.
No,
I was
you-
working at
No,
another
no, no,
one
no.
before I met
Let-
her.
Please rephrase that. We did not go in the basement. The alarm started sounding, and I was like, "Oh, babe, shouldn't we go down to the basement?"
No, because
oh,
no,
no, that just means to go inside. We're fine.
which it does.
No, it does
Tornado
not.
siren
It
means
Well,
to
the
go
dog,
inside.
the
Go
dog
into
is
the
doing
basement.
laps in the basement saying, "Well, the fuck's my family?"
Whatever.
And what did we do?
I took my
20 minutes
chances.
later? Oh, we went upstairs to bed.
Oh, sure. Why wouldn't you?
The only reason why I say that is I had a friend who called me from his parents' house. He actually fled from his place in Woodstock
Okay.
to his parents' house. I'm sorry, in Crystal Lake. Drove to his parents' house in Woodstock.
Well, that's a
because-
mistake because that's where I end up
Yes,
going.
exactly. That's exactly. He's calling me. He's going, "Where is this thing? Where is?" Because apparently the tornado actually picked up, but there was still a circulation funnel going through.
Because we had reports of it from the department. It's our dispatch center calls us and goes like, "Hey, you guys might be screwed in a second."
We went on the chase to try and track it.
Yeah.
And we got. You're chasing a storm, you always want to be southwest of it because it's moving to the northeast. You want to be behind it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I get it.
So we tried to get in behind it. And we started to go to where we could see the rotation was going, and I had the dash cam going on my car and everything. We go, "We're gonna get this thing. We're gonna get this thing," and it started to get dark.
Oh, that's scary.
Did it go green too?
No, I'm talking about the sun was going down.
Oh, okay.
So we're
I thought you
driving
meant it
up
was
this road. No, it was already dark. We knew we
Yeah.
were on the cell, right? And we're driving up this road. I think it's called Hendersonville Road or,
Okay.
or Ferg. I don't know. Anyway, it's west of 47, about 2 miles, and 176. Okay. So we're starting to head north, and I'm looking, and I'm starting to see debris on the road, and I'm like,
Did Van Halen start playing?
no. That would have been the ultimate sign.
Cow.
And I
Another
stopped.
cow.
I
Nope,
stopped.
Same cow.
Yeah, and I said, we have to stop because I can't drive fast enough to see this. I can't drive fast enough to keep up with this, and I can't see if there's. I don't want to be driving 30 miles an hour and so there's a branch in the road and we hit it.
Yeah.
Turn around and take the chase off. That is why I do that. I'm gonna get one on tape. I'm gonna get a freaking tornado
That'll
on
be
tape. And that's gonna be.
I would love to.
One of the best ones I ever had because I was working
I
this
did it
one day. This was 3 years ago. No, 4 years ago. So it's me and this other medic. I'm driving the ambulance back from the hospital.
And you're a wedding specialist? What do you do?
Yeah, no, I decorate weddings, asshole. So we're driving back in the ambulance after decorating this wedding. And
Your tax dollars.
so I'm looking at this guy, I'm like, and I asked the guy next to me who's more senior and wiser than I, because I think this was years ago. I was like 21.
Okay.
I don't know shit. I'm looking at this guy, I'm like, why the hell's the sky brown? And then we look a little bit further to our left, and we're like, oh, fuck. Drive fast! Boom! Just slam on the fucking... Oh, my God. Yeah, because we're watching... It was only hitting cornfields at this point, and that's why it was brown, because it was...
But it was heading towards
Yeah. We're like... And just my question, why is it brown?
Yeah.
And then just... It had to have happened within 5 seconds. I looked left and went... just, shit!
Yeah, that's a scary feeling.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to pull into this trailer park.
Yeah, I happened to
This
go
barn
down,
with all these cleavers.
Who are these people?
I happened to go down to Rochelle for
Ooh,
work.
okay.
And it actually, they said it started in Rochelle. It actually started in unincorporated Rochelle, about 6 miles north of there. So there may have been some wind in downtown Rochelle, but where that restaurant that got turned over, it's like 5 miles up the road.
Okay, that makes more sense.
So I drove through there, and then I end up going through Fairdale, which is the town that got wiped off the map. Now, I have pictures on my phone that I can show you guys, and I'm telling you.
One of your sisters lives down there. And
Yeah, I
she
know.
was sending
Dude, it
pictures
freaked
and-
the
No, I know, I'm
fucking
just saying,
shit out of me because I was on duty that day.
She posted pictures on
Ugh.
Facebook of like her house was fine.
Yeah.
Next block over,
Gone.
gone.
Yeah, but I didn't know that because guess what? I heard from Jay, he's like, yeah, tornado hit Washington. They've already called a box. And for fire, because for those of you that don't know, a box means, oh shit, we can't handle this. We need out-of-town people.
Oh.
We need more people. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, okay, because Washington's not a big place.
Oh.
And where this tornado hit in Washington was the other side of the street from my sister. So I was freaking the shit out for a good hour until I got a hold of her. She's like, no, we're okay. The neighbors in the new subdivision to our west got fucked. I'm like, okay.
I was supposed to go see. I remember that night we were going to go see the Rush. Oh boy, I think it was the Snakes and Arrows live tour.
Yes.
It was filmed, but it was in the theater. We were going to go to see the
Oh,
movie theater.
that's different one I'm thinking. Really?
Yeah.
Beyond the Lighted
Oh.
Stage.
No, it wasn't the documentary. It was the Rush Snakes and Arrows tour.
Oh, okay.
And they recorded it live, and they were going to play it in theater.
Okay.
And your sister Jenny and I were going to go, and she just said, "I'm going to Washington. I got to take care of my other sister. It's just I can't possibly."
Right.
Which I get. And she's like,
Sure.
I'm sorry, I know you pay for this. I'm like, I'm fine. Trust me, I'll find somebody else to pay for or to go with this ticket. And Elizabeth and I went. I thought it was going to be a whole big deal. Like when we went to see the Beyond the Lighted Stage, and we had to wait in line for an hour and a half. There was nobody at this theater to see Rush that night. That was embarrassing, but whatever.
Actually, going back, this is going to take a full circle and might be the good closing point.
I actually have something else to bring up to him, but yeah.
Vintage vinyl,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
They
yeah,
would
in
have-
Alabama, the record
yes.
store.
They would have, on Tuesday night, they'd have the CD release events, okay?
Mhm.
And the new bands would bring out, whenever they would release their CDs, it would be Tuesday night at midnight. And the thing in the 90s was that if you showed up at midnight, generally they would you could buy the disc at regular face value, and you got your choice of any one of the number of items that they would ship with this release party. The night that the Test for Echo album came out,
Mhm.
REM also released their Stand album, I think is what it was. I don't remember. Maybe the Orange album.
Stan
Yeah.
was. I was in high school. Test for Echo was college.
It was
Actually, it was post college.
94 was when Test
You
for
know
Echo
what came out when I was in college?
But
Counterparts.
oh, jeez.
After Roll the Bones? Yeah, you think grunge is taking hold?
Yeah.
Guess what came out
So-
when I was in junior high?
What?
Vapor Trails.
So, any rate, so I go down to Vintage Vinyl. I'm going to get the Test for Echo CD, right? It's
Yeah.
the new
Well,
album coming out.
There's a huge.
But
line
there's
for-
the huge line for these people who are getting, because REM was the big college band at the time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I get in line, and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't like there were a ton of people there, maybe like 20, 30 people or whatever. We go in, door opens, everybody goes in, gets into the queue and everything, and I'm standing there, and I'm 7,
Did you just call it
8.
Q?
I did?
I am so proud of you.
Why?
She's English.
Because she's English.
Oh. So we get into the queue, and I'm standing
Line
there,
for
and
us Americans.
And the guys, they have it set up. There's one guy who's saying, what do you want? Another person who's getting what they want.
Meanwhile, they have a stack of REM CDs
A
behind
third
them.
person who gets the CD, and a fourth person who checks them out. Okay? So what do you want? It's like an assembly line, right? I walk up, and you've seen the commercial where they're talking about Visa, and he says always pay with Visa. Everything goes. It's like clockwork.
Yeah.
And the dude pays with cash, and everything just like goes to hell in a handbasket. I was that guy because I walked up. They go, "What do you want?" I go, "The Test for Echo CD." Like, what? You don't want REM? No, I just want the Rush album. They had no idea what to do, and as it turned out, Rush had actually sent out. There was a poster that you could get if you got the midnight release,
Really?
and they couldn't find it.
Oh.
They had all the REM crap out. So the guy wrote on a hand sheet piece of paper, he says, oh, I owe you something or whatever for this poster. I came back the next day. They had it waiting for me behind there, but it was hysterical. 30 people in line, 29 wanted REM. This guy wanted Rush.
The only time I've gone for an opening night thing has been Batman Arkham Asylum, Halo 2, and Halo 4.
I have done some video games. I've done some CDs, and sadly, the Blu-ray release of Twilight
Ouch.
for Sammy.
Goddaughter.
Sammy, she was homesick, and Elizabeth and I went to Hot Topic at Woodkey.
Bullshit.
Ouch.
Oh my god.
I should get a fucking medal for that.
Yes, you should.
I haven't done any of that shit.
Yet.
One
Hun,
thing,
we got a lot of it coming. By
yes,
the
you
way.
do. Yes, you do.
Your daughter growing older.
She's gonna
I'm
be.
We're
not
going
doing
to
that
have-
shit.
She's
Her
gonna
dad
be
can do
into
it.
shit that you hate. and you
Yeah,
shut
we'll
up
see how
and
this
do
is
it.
going to fly eventually. Especially when the release day is when we have her. We're fucked.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing this. I will give my
You
dad this.
will
I
do
love my father.
Yeah.
And one of the best things, like we've done a lot of cool stuff. One of the best things he ever did for me was because I was 17 when Halo 2 came out.
Mm-hmm.
He took me to the midnight release because at that point
He did?
he was working days, so he was actually up at that point, but he had just switched, so like his schedule was all fucked up. So he was awake. I'm like, hey, would you mind taking me? No, it's a great idea. And I go there and they're like, yeah, we can't give you this to you because it's a mature game. Are you fucking kidding me? I was like, I got this.
Your dad did?
Yeah, picked up Halo 2. Guess what? The whole night, he stood there, or he sat in his recliner, and I played Halo, and he'd ask questions. I'd tell him the answers, like, oh, that's a brute, or this is this alien, or until school that morning because it was like a Tuesday night, so I had to go to school. Oh yeah,
I've called in sick.
No.
Games have come out
I went to a class, and one of the teachers, who will remain nameless, was just sitting at his desk, hand on his chin.
You know.
And I was the same as, I'm like, you played Halo? And I was like, no. So did I. You're fine today. We watched a movie or something and passed out. It was awesome.
I think Halo 3, I burned through the night. And then the last time I did a burn through the night one was when Transformers War for Cybertron came out. We've been waiting for a good Transformers game since the 80s.
That was a really good game, too.
And everybody online was saying, this is it. This is the game you want. Because the games have come out for the movies and they've been drag. They've just been terrible. And everybody said Transformers War for Cybertron. And so I got it. I
wish it was more popular because that's how good of a game it was.
And I'll tell you the beauty of it. It's Transformers.
I don't care.
The name of the game is here's the thing. You know what it's about.
No, I really don't.
Transformers. They're robots that turn into vehicles. Okay. You're playing a game called Transformers. You're on a planet called Cybertron, whose sole existence is to support the life of Transformers. Okay. You yourself are a robot that can turn into a vehicle. Okay. Yet, when you're chasing some other robot around a corner, and you lose him around the corner, and then when you finally find him, and all of a sudden he's a tank coming at you, you will be surprised. It's a fantastic game. I want to bring up one last geeky thing. And then
we're going to wrap it up after this.
This is the geekiest.
Voodoo Vince was the only
hell yes.
Sorry. I just had to chime in.
No, that was one of the best games I've ever played.
That was the only game.
Totally underrated.
I basically
original
played
Xbox.
it.
It's got to be platinum.
I played it once you from the first time I threw it in. I played it.
It was a sample. It was a demo that came with Megasalt.
Yes, it was.
And then
that's how I played
I gotta
it.
get this game.
Yeah.
And just the dry humor in it.
It was so
great.
More
crap. Yeah. I'm like, I loved it. You played as a voodoo doll.
Yeah,
and if you want to hurt your enemies, you hurt yourself.
The music was fantastic.
Yes, it was. Very New Orleans, Zydeco kind of.
Oh my God, it was fantastic. John got me into it too. And,
the last geeky thing I want to bring up before we go, and this is real quick. I picked up something today. You may want to go to Jason. This is just for you.
Okay.
Go to Hobbytown USA in the Hills.
Hobbytown USA.
I got a kit for about $30, unpainted, Colonial 1.
Ooh. Okay, yeah.
You guys don't get what
Battlestar Galactica.
No.
It's the president ship.
It's a president ship from BSG.
Lauren and Bob high five because they had no idea.
Yeah.
But
President
I am looking forward to.
But I don't know the.
Yeah, Dave, our friend who's in the comics as well, Nina's father.
Yeah, Nina's father
is redoing his basement.
Yeah.
So we will. What we started 10 years ago, we will be able to do models again and kit bash in his basement because I spent so many hours doing that with you guys.
we wasted
at that
We're
time.
not wrapping up just yet because I have one thing more to add.
Oh, you do? Okay,
Yes.
That's fine.
About George Washington's tab, I found the list.
You found the
list?
No way! Oh, yes!
Oh, I love
take
you.
$20 out of petty cash.
Okay, so 54 bottles of Madeira.
No, wait, Madeira.
Whoa.
This is
that was still
party?
then?
Okay.
That was a thing then?
Yeah.
Okay, 60
oh my God.
bottles of Claret.
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 Actually, it's an English one, so you pronounce the T.
Oh, okay. All right, 22 bottles of porter.
Okay.
12 bottles of beer.
By the way, porter.
Only
tastes
$12 or 12 bottles of beer.
Yeah, they were
it?
100-ounce bottles. Porter, by the way, no port. Port
is different.
Never mind. Port tastes like shoe leather, but that's another story.
Yeah.
8 bottles of hard cider. 8 bottles of colonial whiskey.
Oh, yes.
7 large bowls of spiked punch.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
How many people?
54 people plus George Washington.
Oh, go you. Jesus Christ.
Good job.
That's
Lord.
awesome.
Bravo.
That, as in Top Gear, is how we're going to end on a bombshell. Thank you for listening to Apples in the Sink.
And across the line.
We enjoy all of our listeners, so thank you. Hopefully we will have another one up soon. Not hopefully we will.
And I'm John Watson.
I'm Bob Watson.
I'm Lauren.
And I'm Jason. Have a good night.
Nina says bye too.